So, on the Antiques Roadshow, sitting at my table, I get to see probably 10 Rolexes every time. Most of which are little ladies' gold Rolexes, worth very little money indeed, and the odd Rolex Submariner. And here today, you have very kindly brought in a typical example of a Rolex Submariner. But we're standing in front of the camera filming, so there's got to be something slightly unusual about this Submariner. Are you able to shed some light on it?
Well, as a youngster, I read the James Bond books, and his watch was a Rolex Submariner, and I always wanted one. And a friend of mine who was a jeweller phoned me up 35 years ago, and he said, "I've got one, are you interested in it?" And I said, yes, I bought it 35 years ago, and it's still on my wrist today.
Okay, well, you're absolutely right to mention James Bond, because there is a Rolex Submariner, which we, in inverted commas, call the James Bond model.
Right.
And it's super, super, super rare, but this isn't it. Okay.
Okay.
It's better than that. On this particular Rolex, it has a very giveaway little mark, which is a T right there. Do you know what the T stands for? It stands for Tritium. And the Rolex company were asked by the British government to make a certain number of watches for the Royal Navy. Special watches for diving. And they make them to a certain specification, and this is important. First of all, the lugs that hold the strap to the main body of the watch were 2 millimeters thicker than the standard Rolex lugs. They also asked for the numerals around the bezel for the first 15 of them to be specified, so the battens go 1 to 15, okay? And they also specified that the hands were slightly larger, sword-shaped hands, so they were more visible. Lastly, they insisted that the T was there for tritium, which is the makeup of the material that the dial is made from. It's a less hazardous type material that they use, but they insisted on using the T for the tritium. So lots of quirky things about it. And lastly, when you turn it over, it has the broad arrow mark on the back, which shows that that's government use, broad arrow mark. You have to have it on every single one. And very last, the serial number on the back ends in a 77, which is 1977. So they were made in very small numbers, we think approximately 500, and they were specially made for the Special Boat Service. So,
it's unbelievable.
All of that makes it rather cool, doesn't it? Actually, it makes it a lot cooler than a James Bond watch, in my opinion.
Okay.
So, let's talk about the value. We're not talking about James Bond, which is probably around the £12,000 mark. We're talking much rarer than that. It's got to be worth between £30,000 and £40,000 at auction today. Yeah.
I can tell you what I paid for it.
Tell us what you paid for it.
£400. Unbelievable.
Congratulations. Super rare watch.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
Well worth
Well,
it.
thank you for enlightening me. I just didn't know. I know a lot more about it now.
Fantastic.
Might have to not wear it when I do the gardening.
No, you must. You must. That's half the point of it. Congratulations. Fantastic watch. It's a pleasure.